Alright, and welcome to Area Plus 1 Explained. Here we just take these basic area problems and we make them just about one step more difficult. So take for example, find the area of the circle below. Well, what's the formula for the area of a circle? We know that it is the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. Here I give you that CB is 9 centimeters. So what's the one thing you have to do before being able to solve this? Well, you have to understand that a radius is half of a diameter. So here, our radius would actually be half of 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So if I'm looking for the area of a circle, I know it's really pi times 4.5 squared. Now from here, let me go ahead and grab my calculator. I think 4.5 squared is something like 20.25, but I could be wrong. So let's find out. 4.5 times 4.5 is 20.25. Now there's two ways we could write this answer. We could write 4.5 squared is 20.25 pi. This is a perfectly acceptable answer. And we can also times this by the actual value of pi. And another way to say this is that the area of a circle is equal to 63.62 centimeters squared. This would be centimeters squared as well. So one of these is the decimal approximation, and one of these is the answer in terms of pi. You'll just have to kind of look at the answer choices and see what they are asking for in terms of the answer. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, find the area of the rectangle below when given AC is 12. AB is 4, and notice it's a rectangle, which means that that is technically a right angle. So what's the one step you have to do here first before finding the area? Well, you have to notice that embedded in this is a right triangle where we're given two sides and we're being asked to find the base of this rectangle. So we'll simply use our Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Now notice I could just call this 4 the a term, this x the b term, and our 12 is the c term. And we could say, okay, you know what, we have 4 squared plus x squared is equal to 12 squared. Alright, let's go ahead and finish this out. 4 squared is 16 plus x squared is equal to 12 squared is 144. We know that in solving for x squared, we can subtract 16 from both sides, and we'll get x squared is equal to, and it looks like 144 minus 16 will be 128. Now I will leave you to solve this for x. But what does x equal? And remember, the area of a rectangle is equal to the base times the height. And here, for the area of our rectangle, we know that our base is whatever x is times our height of 4. So when you solve for x, multiply by 4, and you will get the correct answer. Alright, let's move on to our next example. Okay, it says find the area of the parallelogram below given AB is 8. So let's see, AB is 8 and BC is 12. Now notice, what is the area of a parallelogram? We know that the area of a parallelogram is the same as a rectangle. It's the base times the height. Well, check this out. If we were able to find this height, let's call that h, we would be able to find the answer because we already know the base. Our base here is 12, but we don't know the height. Now you'll notice though, this is actually a 30, 60, 90 triangle, and so if we use the rules of a 30, 60, 90 triangle, which are 2x, x, and x square roots of 3, whenever that's 30 degrees right there and 60 right there, well, what we know is that the hypotenuse is always twice the length of the short side. So let's go ahead and just call this short side 4, which means that the third side would be 4 square roots of 3. As this is a special right triangle, this is something we should know intuitively at this point. And so our height is 4 square roots of 3. When you do 12 times 4 square roots of 3, you will get the correct answer for this area. Alright, let's go tackle the next one. Okay, number 5. Find the area of the semicircle below given HI is 18 inches. Okay, this is going to be one of the more common problems that we're going to find. So we know that the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared, but notice this is a semicircle. It's half. So you have to take your final answer and divide by 2. This is where most students make a mistake. The other tricky part about this is we know that the diameter is 18, but what about the radius? Well, 18 divided by 2 is 9. So we could say this: the area of our semicircle must be equal to pi times 9 squared, all divided by 2. When following our order of operations, we know that we should square first. Let's just call it the area of a semicircle, and we'll have pi times 9 squared, which is 81 over 2. Now there's really two ways you could find your answer. One, we could simply just do 81 divided by 2, which we could say our area is equal to 40.5 pi inches squared. So this is what we call in terms of pi. Or we could find the decimal approximation by multiplying 40.5 times pi. Well, let's see. 40.5 times pi will give us 127.23 inches squared. So once again, you have to understand, what is the answer choice asking for? Is it asking for the answer in terms of pi, or is it asking for the decimal approximation? And you can go take a look at that. Let's move forward. Alright, problem 17 says find the area of the trapezoid below. Well, we're in luck. We know that the area of a trapezoid is equal to 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. And I'll simply help you plug this in, and you will solve it from there on your own. So we have 1/2 times, it looks like our top base is 5 plus our bottom base is 8 times our height. And so the only tricky thing here is which one is the height, the 4 or the 5? Well, of course, it's going to be the 4, the side that is perpendicular to the base. One quick note here, I actually did this a little bit weird in my last time. So let's just say we have 1/2 times 5 plus 8 will go ahead and give us 13 times 4. And you can either do 1/2 times 13 and then times 4, or 1/2 times 4 and then 13. It doesn't really matter. Multiplication, you can multiply in any order. I'll let y'all finish this one on y'all's own. Okay, and our last one, problem 18. Find the area of the rhombus below, where D1 is 7 and D2 is 5. Well guys, this one's really straightforward. Remember, we know that the area of a rhombus is simply equal to 1/2 times D1 times D2. So in this case, we can just say 1/2 times D1 is 7 times D2 is 5. And if you multiply those three numbers together, you'll have the correct answer. Alright, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see y'all in our next lesson.